Welcome to News Inside this morning. Welcome, guys.
Yeah, good morning.
A lot to talk about in the political space. And first, let's start with Mr. Peter Obi. I'm going to read directly from what he said so that we can get a true picture. Very short words. He said, I am still in Labour Party. He said, whenever I want to leave, you will know. Then he followed up. He said, I remain committed to the cause of building a better Nigerian. My focus is on the people, not political destruction. What matters is how we can work together to create a nation that works for everyone. Obi has stated his stand. He hasn't defected to SDP. There may be an alliance or a coalition. We don't know yet. We don't have the clarity of it. Of course, we know that something is brewing, but we don't know yet. But he has told us categorically, I'm still in Labour Party. When I am leaving, you will all know. Philip.
It's a good thing to hear from the horse's mouth. You know, it has been in the news for some time that Obi is leaving Labour Party or is not leaving Labour Party. But the truth remains that Obi has made it very clear that he is leaving Labour Party. And when he wants to leave, he will leave with the obedient group. Who is he reassuring? Reassuring the Labour, the obedient group. That, yeah. Look, we are just here temporarily. We haven't moved, but we are bound to move. And when I am moving, I will move with every one of you. What is there? The man is clear in what he's saying. You know, that Labour Party is no longer the vehicle that is going to take us to the promised land. That's what he had just said.
Eli, Obi has said categorically, I'm moving, or I'm still in Labour Party.
God bless you.
Whenever I am moving, I will let you know.
That is if he will be moving. Because the way Mr. Philip here he's talking as if he's certain that Obi is leaving Labour Party. Maybe he has a preferred kind of party he is looking for Obi. You know, Obi is like a golden fish that really does not have a hidden place. But having said that, the statement here is very clear in English terms. He said, I am still in Labour Party. His priority is not jumping from one party to another. His priority is focused on how Nigeria can be better for us, all of us, you know, not even him precisely. Looking at Obi, I don't know about his father, his mother. He has just a wife and 2 children from what I heard of him. So the fight he's fighting is not for himself, like late Pa, the banjo, you know, of blessed memory. Adebanjo of blessed memory. So Obi have not said that I am leaving Labour Party. I am sure it's a response to accusations and counter accusations of him leaving for SDP, for PDP or APC.
You know, that's how it first of all came out during Rufai's period, that he was leaving APC, but he came out and said that I am not leaving APC. But after a while, we saw it. And I remember Philip said that time, there's no smoke without fire.
So Philip has become our prophet of the day.
Well, it's possible.
I like that. Well, however, the way I understand it is very simple. Obi is not under any influence of maybe alcohol or drug. He has said it clearly. If I will be leaving, or when I'll be leaving, might be now, might be in future after 2027, might be whenever. So until he come out to say, fine. Obi is very calculative and a very straightforward person, that if he's leaving, he will give reasons why he is leaving. So until he come out to tell us he is leaving, with his supporters, and also becoming his supporter, then we will know where we are headed. But for now, Obi remains the Labour Party, but still have one priority and one interest in the country, the betterment of Nigeria. So if it's APC, PDP, SDP, Action Alliance, whatever party, tomorrow that Obi feels he can work with to better the life of Nigeria, certainly he will, and we shall follow.
Okay, Philip, you know, if it's a language of doubt, when is a language of time? Mm-hmm. When, that means I'm going. When, I don't know yet. If, maybe I'm going or I'm not. English, you know. So, but he said whenever. So it's a language of certainty. And looking at this, of course, we know there are a lot of talking here and there. Do you understand? He's met with a lot of people from the PDP side, from the SDP side. And what do you see this coalition as? You know, it looks as if they are going to help Nigeria move forward the way things are looking.
Essentially, I am confident that the coalition, if we're formed and they think the advice will be given to them on this table,
they will help Nigeria to move forward. We have told them that some people need to share their ambitions, and that the northern element in the coalition should know that it is not their turn. They should respect the unwritten agreement between the north and south of power rotation, that even if Tinubu had done 4 years, it is also the turn of the south to do another 4 years. So in this coalition, they are chosen candidates who come from the south, region of the country. Talking about Obi in person is clear. Like, thank God you're an English student. When is
the language of
certainty? When the time comes, I will let you know. That's what Obi said, which means yes, he is leaving, but the time is not sure of yet. But for that, the fact that he's going to leave is not in doubt. That's what I understand it to me, and that's what you help to to state here. Coming back to the coalition, we need the coalition in this country, because if we don't do it, this country will be turned to one-party state. Because all the political parties, as it is today, the main opposition political party like the PDP and the LP, they are vegetables. They can't even fend for themselves. They are being spoon-fed by the ruling party. So it is a dangerous trend for us in this country. Even at now, we can't feed ourselves. We can't cater for ourselves. Our lifespan has been cut short. How long shall we survive if we continue with this kind of government? So the coalition is the only answer, recognized constitutionally. We are not saying that it's a subtle revolution through the ballot box. You understand? And for you to get that revolution, you have to amass the majority of the vote that will go into the ballot box. And you also have to ensure that these votes are protected. You also have to ensure that the counting, is in tandem with what went into the ballot box. And that is why the coalition is necessary. That is why you need the bad, the ugly, and the evil, the good, whatever. They will have to come together. Those who know how to monitor have to monitor. Those who know how to ensure counting is done effectively. Not just the masses going to vote and go that we have won. That's what happened in 2023, and we never saw a result. So this coalition is very important. That's why every person, and that's why I was so strong yesterday. Look, nobody should be at the back front. Anybody we need to win to change the system, to be at the forefront, irrespective of who that person is. What is important is that these people are fighting for the betterment of the citizenry, and that is what is paramount to us at this point in time.
All right. What becomes of Labour Party?
What a question.
Because before Obi came into Labour Party, there was no Labour I don't think there was an elected officials from Labour Party. I need to be proved wrong. But before Obi came in, I've never heard of any senator or House of Rep member or governor that was from Labour Party. Now, when Obi came in, we saw at least, apart from the one that defected, they still have 7 senators. They have a lot of they have governors, or at least a governor. Do you understand? And a lot of assembly members. Do you understand? Suddenly, they are now in the opposition on the wrong side. Of course, they have a divided house as well. What becomes of Labour?
You see, the fate of Labour is still in the hands of God and the people elected.
You sound like a normal Nigerian, very religious.
It's in the hands of God, and it also depends on the performances of their remaining elected officers. You see, like El Rufai made us to understand, which is what we've known. El Rufai and a lot of our politicians have opened our eyes and made confessional statements of how the APC is fueling a crisis in other.
So do you think Labour is being handled and destroyed by the ruling party?
Not just Labour, every other.
No, I'm talking about Labour specifically.
Yes, specifically, Labour is also a part of the political parties that the APC is using its might, using some of their members to see how they can disorganize it. Because you see, it's already known how they were never expecting, and these guys have produced results. But like I just mentioned, that it depends on God and then the people elected under these parties. If the ones that remain that have refused to move to APC, because that is actually the bride of the day. If those ones that remain, like Oti, for instance, either you like it or not, Akpabio cannot deny going to have said they have seen the work the young man is doing, but they cannot really applaud him or talk much about him until he joined their party, because they don't have people performing in APC. So they needed somebody that they can rely on. If someone like Oti should double up and do more than even expected.
But even the OT he is on the other side of the divided house.
If you will allow me to come in here, you see, the question you ask has a simple answer. The fate of Labour parties hang on the air. You know, the so-called OT he mentioned just conducted a local government election in Abia State.
With another party.
Not one councillor, not even chairmanship that the Labour Party won in Abia State. And this is the so-called Labour Party government.
State.
Are you getting me? So, you know, even those who claim not to have defected, you know, you say their body is language shows that they are no longer in Labour Party. So Labour Party is
sinking.
I don't know. I don't want the word to come from my mouth.
You don't want to prophesy evil.
But their faith is hanging on the air.
But the truth is the truth.
Yes.
If it's sinking, it's sinking. You see, I like people telling the truth. What is sinking is sinking.
The nail on the head.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's like what you just said just now, that remain in the hand of God. God doesn't vote.
At all.
Human beings vote. So because most of the time we all pray and pray. I believe in prayer. Don't undermine that. I believe in prayer a lot. I believe prayer can change things. I believe prayer can change us. But prayer doesn't change God. But let's leave that one for where it is. But most of Nigerians rely on prayer and don't do anything. After we are prayed, we need to come out. So if Labour Party is sinking, we can all see that it's sinking. And the opposition, the ruling party is making sure every opposition party sinks. And that's where it has been. Well, we're looking at Obi when it's moving. Then we're also looking at, we'll be watching the Labour Party closely. Then we'll know the influence that Obi wields in the politics of Nigeria, where it's moving to and where it's moving out from. We will see how the changes will be. Until then, we'll just be looking at them. Thank you, guys. That's where we'll leave it. We'll be back on News Insight.